Hi there, me again. Today I'm going to look at Advance UK and Restore Britain. I'll look at what they are, what their constitution is, who's involved and what they want for our country. At the end I'll tell you my opinion on what they can do for the UK and why I support them both. This is about fundamental changes in our political landscape which is shifting faster than Keir Starmer can say, "Release the sausages," or "I have every confidence in Mandelson." Let's start with Advance UK, which was registered as a political party late last year. It was started by Ben Habib in 2024. Ben first became widely known as an MEP for the Brexit Party, and before that he built a career in property investment and business. It's always been clear about his political focus. He believes in sovereignty, accountability and economic competitiveness. He believes in patriotism, a truly united kingdom which includes Northern Ireland. He believes in a nation for the British, a free, democratic country with fairness and equality under the law. He wants a principled government of integrity. Ben left Reform UK in early 2024 because he believed Reform UK was not democratic enough. All power of the party was at the top and the members had little say in decisions or policy. He also believed Nigel Farage had softened his stance on issues that Ben felt were non-negotiable, especially the Northern Ireland Protocol. Ben Habib was not prepared to dilute his principles and so set up a new party. Advance UK arrived with a simple message: if the system isn't working, let's rebuild it. The party's focus is structural, not cosmetic. They want to reform political institutions, increase transparency, strengthen national decision-making and improve public services through redesign. Above all, Advance UK wants a fair democracy, less red tape and a return to the thriving nation whose government governs for the British people. Ben Habib said from the outset that his party and its decisions and policies would be accountable to its members. This is where Advance UK genuinely breaks the mould. Instead of the classic leader at the top, everyone else nodding politely, they created the College of Members, a governing body made up of ordinary members elected internally. The college has the power to scrutinise leadership decisions, review policy proposals, represent the wider membership and hold the leadership accountable. They're the engine room of a new style of political party where power is shared instead of concentrated at the top. In this way, the party will always be accountable to its members. Advance UK has already set out clear policy positions. They want to reform government by cutting bureaucracy, increasing transparency, strengthening accountability and reforming the House of Lords. Their economic policy is to support business growth, particularly small and medium enterprises, reduce regulation and barriers to growth, review tax structures, and as far as national sovereignty goes, Advance UK want the UK to have full control over its own laws, stronger border management, and a review of international agreements. So Advance UK is new, but it hasn't been slow. Since the launching, the party has reported faster than expected membership growth, quickly reaching 30,000 members, the target Ben had set himself before registering as a political party. And in its first year, Advance UK has established the College of Members, built a national leadership team, set up regional structures, and published its founding principles and policy themes. Its policies are published commitments, not vague ideas, and their first two fully detailed policies will be announced this month. The party has already begun hosting public meetings, publishing policy explanations, recruiting college members and building a digital presence. They are even fielding candidates in by-elections. For a new party, this progress is amazingly fast. When Ben Habib first began forming Advance UK, he invited Rupert Lowe to join. Rupert Lowe and Ben Habib go way back. They served together as MEPs, they've appeared together in debates, and they share a similar instinct for political reform. So it made perfect sense the two already had a strong working relationship. Lowe had just become MP for Great Yarmouth and had recently left Nigel Farage's Reform Party after disagreements. But Lowe felt that he needed to make a difference now by forming a movement to lobby Parliament on behalf of the British people. So he set up Restore Britain. This is not another political party, but a movement that Rupert could use to challenge government decisions on behalf of the people. It's focused on sovereignty, institutional reform, challenging political complacency, questioning government decisions. It's flexible, fast, and built around public engagement. Restore Britain has been very active. Rupert Lowe listens to the public and asks the difficult questions most politicians avoid. Questions like whether there should be a referendum on reinstating the death penalty for the perpetrators of the most heinous crimes, where there is no doubt about guilt, such as the murderer Axel Rudicabana, who killed 3 young girls in plain sight at a dance class. Questions about why safeguarding failures keep repeating, why immigration enforcement is inconsistent or non-existent, why small businesses are being crushed by costs and red tape. Restore Britain has garnered much support for petitions which have acted as a pressure tool, impossible for Westminster to ignore. Such a petition calling for offshore detention and mass deportation of illegal migrants, which hit hundreds of thousands of signatures within days. Lowe pushes for what the British people want and campaigns on their behalf. He brings attention to issues important to the British public, such as his campaign to end non-stun religious slaughter for halal or kosher meat, which I and many Brits consider a cruel and barbaric act that has no place in civilised society. He also coordinated a small business campaign gathering thousands of signatures from owners warning that rising costs and business rates were pushing them to the brink. Lowe has been unusually active for an independent MP. He uses Prime Minister questions to push for answers, challenging the government on immigration enforcement and calling out what he sees as institutional complacency and waste of taxpayers' money. Restore Britain is a movement willing to confront issues the mainstream avoids. Also launched by Lowe is the most high-profile and controversial project, the Rape Gang Inquiry. Frustrated by government inaction, he crowdfunded over £600,000 to create an independent inquiry, the largest political crowdfunder in history. They've taken evidence from survivors, whistleblowers and experts, investigated repeated failures by public authorities, and he's prepared to pursue private prosecutions where appropriate. Hearings are taking place right now. Restore Britain treats the inquiry as a defining mission, and the mainstream media continues to ignore it. The inquiry the government promised hasn't even got off the starting blocks, and the one promised by Nigel Farage and Reform UK, well, it never started at all. It was just quietly kicked under the carpet. Advance UK's mission is straightforward. I agree with their aims of restoring trust, transparency, accountability, fairness and freedom. What reasonable person wouldn't? They've built a structure that seems fair and robust and challenges the normal political model. I've listened many times to Ben Habib, who seems to me to be intelligent and knowledgeable, but above all, genuine, truthful, principled and in touch with what the people want. With Rupert Lowe, an equally strong and principled man, and Restore Britain running a parallel mission, the political setup is shifting in front of our very eyes. The people are finally being heard, and it's my belief that by the time of the next election in 2028 or 29, not only will Advance UK be ready to govern, but they will storm to victory like nothing ever seen before. And the big question, will Rupert and Ben ever get together? Can the two organisations merge? Well, I don't know the answer to that one yet, but along with probably millions of others, I certainly hope so. Because if there's one thing I do know, it's that this country needs them both in power. Perhaps it really is a case of cometh the hour, cometh the men. With two honest and moral pioneers like Ben and Rupert, I now have hope for my country. And so should you. So don't forget, you're not alone. Bye for now.